The NBA continues to shift towards another winning franchise back where they belong. The San Antonio Spurs, led by 22-year-old superstar Victor Wembanyama, balling out all postseason, displaying all levels of greatness on both ends. The most complete player in the game at 7'4", just became the first ever unanimous Defensive Player of the Year, already a top 3 player his age, only year 3, and somehow he's not even close to reaching his prime. We never truly seen a specimen for anybody his size, with the limited players the league seen being 7'4" and above, not including giants like Manute Bol and Georgie Barrison, who were both second-round picks and projected to be nothing but role players. Mark Eaton was a 5th-round pick, becoming one of the greatest developmental stories, with Wemby looking like the best 7'3" and up player our eyes will ever see. These were those giants that came before him, different eras, different expectations, and very different outcomes. Some became all-stars, others just borderline average, and most couldn't stay healthy enough to fulfill their potential. The ones who were supposed to drive and dominate the league, starting with Ralph Sampson of the Houston Rockets, the original Wembanyama, the player who drawn Victor the most comparison, doing Wemby things before Wemby, the 7'4" prodigy, became one of the biggest what-ifs, could have been top 10 all-time caliber if it wasn't for his injuries. Absolutely graceful for his size, extremely long with guard skills, the original unicorn, his greatness and tools decades ahead of his time. Unfortunately, the lack of training regimen, bad shoes, lack of technology, and worse medical knowledge didn't advance fast enough to the point of prolonging Ralph Sampson's NBA career. The original Wembanyama 1.0, his size, mobility, and terror on both ends made him the most intriguing prospect of the decade. Born in Harrisonburg, Virginia, drew national attention back in high school, took his talents to University of Virginia. In a time where big men were slow and stiff, Sampson's ability to move like he's 6'4" made him one of the greatest generational superstars. Given all the pre-draft height, there's no more than 10 guys coming to the league with more buzz. In 1982, the Lakers were going all in for Sampson. Had he declared for the draft a year earlier, would have still easily been the consensus first overall pick. With his size and agility, Ralph was supposed to score like Will Chamberlain and win rings like Bill Russell. Right away, he was a walk 2010 for the Rockets, even won All-Star Game MVP his second year. Was super healthy early on, missed a total 3 games each of his first 3 seasons, earned All-Star selection as a rookie alongside winning Rookie of the Year. Similar to Wemby's Spurs' first season, Sampson's Rockets tanked hard. End of his rookie campaign, landed back-to-back #1 picks, joined force with another generational megastar Hakeem Olajuwon. Both found high success in the 86 season, upsetted the Dynasty Showtime Lakers Conference Finals, capitalized by his remarkable game winner. Defying all odds, falling to the 86 Celtics in 6, nothing to be ashamed of, but Sampson's career took a tragic turn shortly after. Rest of his career played hurt at 7'4", weighing at a din 220. Injuries derailed his body. Played just 2.5 seasons of games his final 6 years. Became the first player to show that centers could be depended upon with skill and finesse, something the league wouldn't see for decades. His first concern happened in college with a hip injury. Might have already stunted his growth, his athleticism. Played his final NBA game at age 31. Sampson's departure only led to speculations on how good he could have been. At his best before the injuries, was nothing more than a fringe all-star talent, but nothing too generational worthy. By the 86 season, teammate Hakeem was the clear-cut best player. The best assessment, a rich man's Kristaps Porzingis. Rik Smits of the Indiana Pacers, the dunking Dutchman from the Netherlands, the second overall pick from the 1988 draft out of Marist College, known for being one of the most underrated bigs for his era. Although he didn't quite live up to his #2 pick status, had a terrific career, came into the league averaging 12 and 6, 2 blocks, made all-rookie team, the starting center for Indiana the entire 90s decade. Most of his playing years, was the second best player on his team behind Reggie Miller, had great footwork, soft hands around the rim, and a mid-range assassin. Some memorable battles in the playoffs against New York's Patrick Ewing, played in the postseason 10 of his 12 years. a career 15-6 guy, rebounding his biggest weakness, played through bone spurs on his feet, lasted longer than expected, gave the best centers massive problems. Smith wasn't imposing, but hard to back down. His best moment came from Game 4 of the '95 Conference Finals, drained the silky smooth game winner on Orlando. Two of his highest scoring series happened against the Knicks, both 93 and 95, averaged over 22 a game. Never quite became a 20 points a game guy, averaged as high as 18.5 in the lower scoring era. Smith made his first and only All-Star team his 10th season, led Indiana to the conference finals, narrowly falling to Jordan's Bulls, his closest to ever sniffing a title, falling to Shaq's 2000 Lakers in the finals, dropped 24 in Game 4, forced to retire after that season with unbearable foot pain. Had Smith played in the 2010s, would have made a couple All-Star teams, balling out in the time, his position being the most stacked. His career, pretty similar to modern day Brook Lopez, not playstyle wise, but the accomplishments and greatness for his time. Shawn Bradley, unfortunately forever known for being dunked on by multiple all-time greats, but respect to the 7'6" giant for accepting every challenge, contested every shot he could. Born in Germany, already 6'8" by the end of junior high school, his abnormal height hit nearly every genetic variant, a jackpot for common mutations, essentially winning the super tall lottery. Very athletic and natural, dominated the All-Americans game, winning MVP, attended BYU as a one and done before spending 2 years serving as a missionary for the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints. The 18-year-old averaged 15-8 along with over 5 blocks. Bradley entered the 93 class, being one of the most intriguing prospects, given the size and surprising athleticism. Had a thin build at just 235 pounds. Ultimately, Bradley drafted number 2 by the Sixers, only behind Chris Webber and ahead of Penny Hardaway. Given he was 7'6", was issued the jersey number 76. The Stormin' Mormon lost a few years of development, being locked into his religious journey. Basically, Big Sean didn't play for 24 months. Young Bradley quickly realized that height in the NBA could only take you so far. On a struggling Sixers franchise looking for their number 1 guy to build around, rookie Bradley averaged an okay 10-6 alongside 3 block shots, limited offensively, struggled posting up, couldn't shoot threes, needed more time to develop them post moves, failed to make a single All-Star team, had 7 total his class. The super tall but fragile Bradley played in an era with the most dominant big men like Shaq, David Robinson, and Hakeem, struggled to rebound, couldn't finish at the rim, shot just 41% from the field, no post moves, dislocated his kneecap middle of his rookie year. All these factors stunted his basketball growth, his only positive in the league being a monster shot blocker. Philly even brought in old Moses Malone trying to mentor young Bradley. Team encouraged him to eat more, felt like he was force-fed. Philly and New Jersey both gave up on him. His first 7 seasons didn't even sniff the playoffs, but from 97 to 2005 found a home with the Dallas Mavericks, figured out his role being a supporting player behind studs Steve Nash, Dirk Nowitzki, and Michael Finley. Dallas being a top offensive team, able to hide 7'6" biggest flaws, just being a big body out there, had an okay career. Not terrible, nowhere near a bust like Anthony Bennett, probably somewhere like Kwame Brown-esque, averaged just 8-6 for his career, had knee problems late. His last couple years, best remembered for constantly getting dunked on, capitalized by the insane all-time Tracy McGrady jam, sending Bradley straight to retirement, as he would only suit up 5 more games after that, all in limited minutes. The shot-blocking giant unfortunately was struck from behind riding his bike in Utah, left him paralyzed January 20th, 2021 at age 48, took his last steps. The forgotten Space Jam legend continues to make the best of his difficult situation. Yao Ming, an absolute global phenomenon, his presence and skills connect millions more fans from the other side of the world. Single-handedly made the Houston Rockets franchise one of the most popular, perhaps the most beloved non-champion for one team, just like how Philly embraces Iverson, New York's appreciation of Patrick Ewing. Same could be said with the Rockets cherishing the Great Wall. His billions of people in his country all supported him, becoming the first rookie All-Star since Tim Duncan, solely due to fan voting. Started his first All-Star game over prime Shaq. The Shanghai Giant dominated with the Sharks before entering the draft. Only 2 players in the association were taller than Ming himself. That was Manute Bol and Georgie Marathon, both 7'7". Unlike those two, Yao had tremendous skill, a silky smooth jump shot, post moves, and an excellent passer. Projected to be a 7'6" Bill Walton with finesse touch, just like Ralph Sampson. Yao was fully healthy each of his first 3 seasons, only missed 2 games between 03 to 05, a near 20 and 10 double-double machine, had unlimited ceiling, a Hall of Fame caliber talent, and that's not even including his international base. Had Yao led the Rockets to 1 championship, would have been the biggest superstar in all of sports, despite not necessarily being the best. In terms of a player at his peak, top 15-ish, got put in a much tougher Western Conference during the mid to late 2000s, had bloodbath battles amongst multiple teams, 4 postseasons, falling to Kobe and Shaq's Lakers in 04, Dirk Nowitzki's Mavs, Carlos Boozer's Jazz round 1, finally got past the first round 2009, but after 3 games in the semis, Yao's fractured left foot destroyed his career, led to multiple surgeries, one after another, missed the entire 2010 season, lasted 5 more games, 2010-11, before forcing to retire at the young age of 30. If Yao was from the US, he'd be criticized for underachieving as a top pick. If he played in today's game, would have been labeled a massive bust early on. Some didn't think his skills would translate, scored 0 points his first career game, but after having his first 20-point game against Shaq's Lakers, his big toe injury in the 06 season cut his prime short. Yao was playing his best ball that year, made 5 All-NBA teams, selected to the Hall of Fame, contributed to the game at a global level, a great player and ambassador, one of the few players to give Shaq problems, left the game a better place when his career finished. Zach Edey of the Memphis Grizzlies, the Purdue superstar from Toronto, Canada, picked 9th in the 2024 draft, came off winning National Player of the Year, averaged a stunning 25 and 12 in college. Many didn't believe he had the quickness to translate. Being 7'4", one of the 10 greatest college players of the 2020s decade, had an insane 7'10" and a half wingspan, good attitude and toughness, never the guy to back down, always sticks up for himself and his teammates, averaged over 9 and 10 as a rookie, put in a top position on a dysfunctional Memphis team who didn't know if they still wanted to contend or rebuild. Super bigs like Edey having massive injury concerns, whether they can last given the past super giant centers, limited to 11 games in year 2 before a bone stress reaction on his ankle forced him to undergo season-ending surgery. Looking great so far, likely won't be as close to being as good as Yao, but a lesser version of Rik Smits, an elite rim protector, set hard screens, already have winning qualities, not worry about his own stats, primary focus on winning ball, could have a Steven Adams type impact with better offense, a foundational piece for a defensive system, already an elite rebounder and shot blocker, his talent trending in the right direction as long as he stays healthy, could even become a 17 and 13 guy in his prime with a Vitzel Zubac caliber offensive skills. Sky's the limit. Now we have the youngest defensive player of the year, a top 3 player at age 22, absolutely terrifying. He's officially arrived and here to dominate. Given the hype and expectations, if there was an all-time draft based on hype and potential, Wembanyama would easily be top 5 all-time, maybe number 3, behind Lou Alcindor and LeBron James. The once-in-a-generational talent will look to win a title sooner than most can even imagine. Honorable mentions of guys who just missed the 7'4" mark. Kristaps Porzingis 4 pick 2015 will never reach his ceiling. A good player when healthy, his body slowly breaking down, too unpredictable. A good role player on a great team, 20 plus point scorer multiple times. The ACL tear year 3 stunted his growth from ever truly becoming a legit number 1. Alex Radiovic at 7'3" out of Montenegro, the Serbian giant, 12th pick in the 99 draft, 15 total games played in 2 seasons, the most forgotten first round pick, made nearly $5 million playing just 15 contests before quitting. Hashim Thabit at 7'3", an absolute travesty, no skills, zero development, had nothing whatsoever. A strong case being the worst number 2 pick all time, being from the loaded 2009 class, an epic failure of a bust.